Brizzle, dude, what's up?
I wasn't expecting this. What's up?
Nothing much. What do you mean? Why do you guys say you weren't
Let
expecting
me
it when you're
let
in
me
the
mute the
room?
stream 1 second.
Yeah, do that. Mute the stream, dude. Both of them, because you
Oh
better have my
shit.
Kick and YouTube stream up, okay?
I'm on your website actually right now.
Oh, there you go, champion. All right, well, what up, G? I say that to everyone, by the way. Okay, go ahead. What's up?
I'm great. I'm 28. Went to college for about a semester, dropped out.
Okay.
I am working as a delivery driver for UPS.
Okay.
Where I'm really big on unions and stuff, and like the lefty like pro work stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I generally leaned conservative for the most part. I was raised evangelical, and I don't know how many of those types of people you have in your community, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a little isolated.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. I feel like union stuff used to be like fairly conservative. Like there are a lot of conservative people, conservative social values involved in unions, and now I kind of wonder, especially if you're like a delivery driver, it feels like unions might have a fuck ton of like 19-year-old like blue-haired kids that want like trans rights and aren't like, that's like, not that there's anything wrong with trans rights, but like
I'm 20,
yeah,
by the way,
yeah, sure,
so I'm
yeah.
not super old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels like the crowd is probably runs fairly progressive on that. But then again, that's just what I see on Reddit, so I could be wrong. But yeah. But yeah, I guess what about it?
Oh, I was just wondering like about like especially in the UPS gets brought up a lot in the news, especially about like drivers dying because of the heat. This summer's coming up and
Jesus.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no AC in the vehicles, and I mean it's
Damn.
not so bad. Like the way people make it out, especially people on the outside, the way people make it out to seem, it's like really bad. But like once you're in it, or maybe I'm brainwashed, who knows? But either way, my biggest question is: so I was raised evangelical Christian, and I tend to subscribe to that theology. I just struggle with homophobia, and I was just wondering, where does it become homophobia? Is it homophobia if you disagree with, if you believe that homosexuality is a sin, or is it homophobia once you start preaching that stuff is evil and that you don't agree with it?
I mean, are you evangelical still?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I became an atheist when I was like a teenager, and then
Mm-hmm.
like I kind of more regressed back into my early childhood programming, I guess.
Yeah,
But
well, you don't have to
I
call it a
take comfort in it.
regression. Jesus. I mean, you can be evangelical. Like, it's not like, I mean, everybody's got their journey, right? Can't you,
Yeah.
can't you just view it as like, I mean, obviously everybody has their vices. For some people, it might be alcohol. For some people, it might be gambling. You know, for some people, it might be homosexuality, right? Can't you just treat everybody as though, you know, people are on their personal journey? It's not really your place to comment or say, right? Like, if,
Yeah.
like if there was an alcoholic at work, you wouldn't be telling them every single day, like, hey, stop drinking, bro. Like, that's between them and whatever God they have, and you just keep it at that.
Yeah, well, for sure. But sometimes I feel like I get gaslit into thinking I'm the weird one. Like when they tell me like if I'm not attracted to transsexual women or men or whatever, then I'm the bigot, and it just makes me feel like I don't know. Am I the bigot, or am I just trying to like stick to my sexual orientation?
I mean, you could be bigoted. I don't know. It's possible you could have a sexual orientation that is what it is because that's what it is, or it could just be that you are a little bigoted. I don't know. Everybody's a little bit different. I mean, you've got a right to your own sexual
I do
orientation. Like,
struggle with that though,
yeah.
right? Because I don't want to be. Nobody wants to be like an asshole or anything like that.
Well,
But
there's
at
a
the
difference
same
between
time,
being bigoted and being an asshole, right? Like one man's bigot
oh,
could be
okay.
another man's, you know, like holy man. It just depends on your particular perspective, right? There are going to be some people that hate Islam, and to a Muslim, they're pretty bigoted. There's going to be people that hate evangelicals, and to an evangelical Christian, they're bigoted. But it just kind of depends on your. That's a, bigoting. Being bigoted, it's like being a terrorist or a freedom fighter. It's a matter of perspective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense. But you know, I get a lot of stuff on my feed like saying that like the gay agenda is trying to get your kids, and I don't know how much that's true or how much that's exaggerated. But obviously maybe because I lean conservative, this stuff pops up on like my For You page and stuff like that. Where do you stand on stuff like that? Like with the Florida stuff, for example.
Yeah, it's complicated. Like
Right? It's so complicated.
in some ways, LGBT people do kind of want to reach out to kids. But I mean, like, the question is like, if we're doing like our best faith interpretation here, like, do they want to reach out to kids because they want to turn them gay, or do they want to reach out to kids that might be gay and have literally no resources in their life to help them with being gay, right? Now, to some people,
Yeah,
they
I
might
can
say
see
that's
that.
the same thing, right? But I mean, like, like arguably, this is where I would say like it's a matter of perspective, you know? Like if I were to go to a religious person, like I could say like, wow, you're literally brainwashing your children from birth with a religion that they are barely even able to consent to. But the religious person say, well, no, I'm providing what I believe is the proper guidance to my child to make sure they live the best life possible, right? And I think for LGBT people, they might feel similarly in that like, well, you know, we're not trying to necessarily turn a person gay or whatever. We just want people to know that if they are gay, there are like resources out there for them that they should be aware of. They don't have to be like completely alone and stuck in some, you know, like horrible area where they have no help or anything, you know?
Yeah, but just for like argument's sake, that's when like some concerned parents, I'm not a parent by the way, so I wouldn't know. They would say, "Oh, you're trying to trans my kids," right? That's what they say. Or you know, I don't know. Should they even be worried about that stuff? Oh, maybe. I
I
don't know.
mean, you know, for some of it, maybe, you know, I think some of it is a little bit weird and I would be a little bit skeeved out from it. I
Yeah, I
think the
think I heard
best
you
thing,
speak on the anything thing, right?
yeah,
Where you mentioned that.
yeah, I think the best thing you can do is just try to keep as open a channel of communication as possible with your child. And hopefully if they like feel uncomfortable, if they feel they need to talk about anything, then they feel okay going to you about it. That's what I would say is probably the best thing you can do.
Okay, I'm a really big fan of your stream, by the way. I started following you around the big Miskiff OTK drama.
Oh boy, yeah.
And I mean I gotta say, man, I've been hooked, and you make a lot of good content. I don't agree with everything you say, of course, but I kind of like the way you kind of bridge the gap between the left and the right for a lot of issues, and I really appreciate that. And the way you bring in other people too, like Abba. I like Abba when he kind of pushes back on your polyamory stuff, which I know you're a big fan of, but me personally, I'm a monogamoid or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of like when he kind of articulates arguments that I feel, but I wouldn't be smart enough to give.
Oh, well,
Um,
yeah, he's a, I mean, it's
I'm
good to
a
find
fan.
like the friends that I can find that can like push back are really hard, but yeah, no, he's cool to, yeah, fight with, yeah.
I like your orbit, your solar system, and that's the final message I wanted to say. I'm kind of nervous, and I don't want to take too much of your time. I think I'm just gonna enjoy the stream. So bye bye. Thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good
Bye
one.
bye. I'm gonna leave now. Bye bye.
INE. What up?
Yo, what's up?
What up?
I have a question.
I got answers. You come to the right place.
Okay. When's the podcast happening?
I might order stuff today. I just need to, because now that I have a new
It's
buddy
still
here in
not
the apartment.
ordered? Didn't you order like microphones and
No, what? I was waiting for a studio from Adam, and I was like, but everybody takes so long to respond to everything. I feel like I have to do everything myself. So today I might just start ordering all the gear that I need. But, you know.
you got how much is it gonna cost?
Damn, dude. I'm hoping to spend less than 20,000. That's my goal, but we'll see.
Jeez. Also, I got like automatically muted
Yeah.
for suggesting a game in chat.
What?
Aren't we allowed to suggest no games no more?
Whoa, what game?
Am I allowed to say? Am I gonna get banned again?
I don't know. It depends on what game you suggest.
It was Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, we're not. Listen, those autism games are the end of me. Okay, I can't be on that shit, dude. Do you understand?
It's like it's a simulation game. It's not like you actively play it. You know?
What do you mean? Yeah, of course you have to constantly like dole out rolls and everything.
But you don't control the units. Like
I know.
that.
Hell, do you know what RimWorld is?
No, but you can control each individual unit in that game.
No, but I'm pretty
You
sure
can't
in Dwarf Fortress you probably need to actively like assign roles and keep tabs on like the base and
Yeah,
everything
but
as well.
they do
Right?
the dwarves. They do whatever they want.
Yeah, but only after you've assigned them like fucking jobs and shit.
Kinda.
Why are you
You
trying
should
to gaslight me? I know how these styles of games are played.
No,
My
it's
guess is you
different.
probably have
This
a whole.
one's different.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't think so.
No, it's you should try it. I mean, you'll see. I
Okay.
played RimWorld myself too. It's totally different. Sure, it's inspired by Dwarf Fortress, but it's totally different.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Anything else?
All right. Nope, that's it.
Okay. Jesus. Did he leave or did he get kicked? Avika, you're up. What's up?
Hi. So, I have a question about. Sorry, the fucking stream. I have a question about a friend of mine. So,
Okay.
last time I was here, I talked about Schrödinger's. I don't know if you're with me or not.
Okay.
I have basically, I was drunk,
Okay.
and he swore that we didn't do anything, and I was pretty sure we didn't do anything. But then later, he told me that he did do something.
Damn.
However, he's still good in every other respect, and I don't know what to do about that. Yeah,
I mean, like, it depends on, like, I would need way more information about the story to give you, like, a good opinion. Like, are you saying, like, you guys were, like, both kind of, like, fiddling around, and you were, like, a little bit drunk, and you didn't really remember, and then you did stuff? Or are you saying, like, you were, like, blackout drunk, passed out, and you're like, please don't do anything to me, and he, like, full-on fucked you while you were sleeping, right? Like, that's, like...
the second one. It's the second one, but I don't remember anything about it, so...
Okay, well, then, I mean, like, that seems like more... That's, like, hard, not soft. Probably not cool. Hard, I think, is a little bit harder to forgive, I think. Probably not a good person if they're willing to hard rape somebody, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. But then it's like that one like thing, like if a tree falls over in a forest and no one's there to hear it, is it really, did it even happen?
Well, if somebody comes by later and they tell you that the tree was knocked over, then I mean, like, the knowledge kind of changes things, right? So maybe if he'd never said anything ever for the rest of your life, maybe you could skirt by on it. But now it seems like you know that he's a kind of a rapist. So, I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, it's up to you to continue the friendship or not. But, like, has he like expressed regret? Have you had a conversation about why he did what he did? Like, have you done any, like, taken steps towards, like, amending anything, or?
Well, he's done like the usual guy thing about saying like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, and I'll never do that again."
Well, why did he do it? Did you ask him why he did it?
Oh, he said that I looked hot. That's
okay. Well, I mean, like, if
he
you want to,
said that I look hot.
Sure. I mean, do you look relatively similar now, or do you look way different?
Relatively similar.
Okay, well, if you want to keep getting, I mean, hang out with this dude and get drunk, but there's probably, I'm sure if we think really hard, we can think like, okay, I can understand why you're somebody under this circumstance. That ain't it, okay? You're hot. That's not a good one, in my opinion. But, that's just me.
Okay. All right, thank you for the advice.
Yeah, I would tell that guy he needs to, you need way more amends than that. But, okay, have fun. Bye.
All right, bye.
What is a good reason? I could be understanding if there was like a lot of like confusion going on. So like if two people got drunk and they were messing around, and then afterwards one person's like, fuck, like I don't think I was ready for that or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, fuck, like that's a shitty situation. But if the person's just like passed out and it's like, oh, I'm gonna just fuck you now, that's kind of not ever okay.
August.
Thoughts on kick so far? Are you currently leaning towards extending the 3 months? I don't know. I think what I talked to about from Jadian was important, is that it feels like there's like there needs to be more collaboration on these platforms. I need to try to reach out to people on these platforms more. I think it would be important. Nasikan, you're up. What's up?
Hey, what's good, bro?
How's it going?
Hold up, pause my thing. Okay, so I've been hearing you talk a lot about like Andrew Tate and stuff.
Okay, cool.
But you always give like a legal. Like you always talk legal. What about like the ethical or moral? What do you think was wrong about what he did ethically and morally and all that?
Lying to get women that probably wouldn't otherwise to move to another country to do sex work while you're like deceiving them about the setup of your relationship, probably not cool.
It's like the lying. That's
a big part. Yeah, generally it's gonna hurt the rest of how I'll see you. Yeah, because you're implying that they wouldn't do it if they would have known otherwise.
I don't know. I've just been exploring like manipulation recently, and there's acceptable ways to manipulate people, and there's like other ways that we condemn, and it's hard to like draw lines there, right? At least I think so.
I mean, I guess we could go through some examples, but like, yeah,
you could have a coworker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's two ways you could ask to present or use more of their time, right? You could have one way where you are saying, do you have more time? Do you have more time? Can I present this? Can I go through this? Or you could just continue through and just pretend to be like, not an asshole, but pretend you don't notice their time is being used up or they're short on time. And then afterwards, you wait for them to check you and be like, hey, I don't have time right now. And then you'd be like,
yeah, I mean, there's probably like a spectrum of like manipulation. I can probably agree with that.
But how do you like from your?
I don't know. I guess it depends on how much you're exploiting the other person and how much is for your personal gain.
I just feel like if you can gain from it and not get caught, why not do it? There's nothing
Because
like
if we
deterring you from
universalize
doing
the
it.
behavior, if everybody lived life like that in society, we would live in a pretty shitty planet, I think.
Sure. I mean, do you care? I mean,
Do I
I've never.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to live in a
why would I
shitty
care?
planet where everybody's like lying and stealing and like manipulating and all this shit all the time. It'd probably not be good.
I'm thinking more of like the individual. That would be more like a societal thing, right?
Well, but I mean, if like any behavior that we say is okay, we should probably universalize across all society. Like if one person can do it, everybody could probably do it. And if everybody was doing something like that, it's probably not going to be. It's probably going to be a pretty shitty world to live in. Would be my imagination.
I don't know. That's just not.
Do you disagree, or?
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a shitty world, but from my like personal eyes, like from my personal CCon experience, why would I care about that? Like, why wouldn't I just promote my own like happiness overall? Like, why give
Well,
a fuck
because at
about-
some point you're going to run into somebody that's probably better at it than you are, and then they're going to fuck you over, and it's probably not going to be a good feeling, be my guess.
I mean, yeah, but the benefits of doing that.
Or
You would
maybe
just take that
actually,
L
maybe
right
the
there.
worst case scenario might be there might be somebody that you genuinely have some positive feelings for, and they don't let you get any closer to them because they're worried that you're just going to be another scammer, right? So I think overall decrease in trust in society would probably be a pretty bad thing too.
I guess for maybe the most extreme aspects of it, but I just find that there are some socially acceptable ways of manipulating somebody or people, and
Yeah, I mean,
It
they're going to be
feels
some
really
like
weird.
telling like a white lie about like, does this dress make me look fat? Might arguably be a kind of manipulation, but it's probably pretty far down the line from like sex trafficking, I would imagine.
I'm not trying to defend his sex trafficking.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that like, even though it exists on a spectrum, we can probably still say some of this on the spectrum is okay and some of it is probably not okay. But I guess
But
it's
drawing the line kind of feels like arbitrary. Like it just
it'll be a
or
little
it doesn't
arbitrary,
really-
but it's going to be like in a bound, right? Like lying to somebody so you can murder them is probably never going to be okay. But like lying to somebody to make them feel a little bit better about themselves, like a white lie, is probably always generally going to be okay. It just depends. But like just because it's hazy or fuzzy doesn't mean that we can't say there's a line somewhere in there, or there's at least a spectrum or a boundary.
You said lying. If you're gonna murder somebody, the problem would be the murder, not really the. I mean, the lying.
I mean, like, what if you
Murder.
lied to sell something to somebody that's like poisonous so that you can make some extra money? Like, that's probably not
The problem
good.
with those examples is that you'll get caught. Like if you didn't get caught, like
Yeah, but if you didn't
just-
if
I
we lived in
can't.
a society where people could do shit like that as long as they don't get caught, wouldn't that be a really fucking horrible society to live in?
sure.
And
We
by
keep
horrible, I
talking
mean like we
about-
probably
I guess we're
we wouldn't want to live in that society at all. I don't think.
Yeah, we keep talking about like different from a personal.
Yeah,
I'm
but any
talking more
behavior,
like individual.
yeah, but any behavior we say individually is okay. We have to say like all of society can do it. We have to grant that, right? It's not like we can make society where you're the only one that's allowed to lie. We have to imagine for any ethical or moral constraints we have, it's going to be similarly bounded around everybody, not just a couple people.
Hold on, let me clarify because my main question was what's stopping me from doing that. Like I'm looking at my own perspective. I really
Well,
don't care
nothing is
about
stopping you from
society.
doing it, but the way
Okay,
that
so
tit for
yeah,
tat
that's-
works in society is that people catch you doing it. Eventually, you're going to be in a far worse position. So these are going to be legal ramifications, social ramifications, or personal ramifications.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I
Right.
guess if you can get away with it, you're asking me if I can get away with doing an immoral action and nobody catches me, then do I gain all the
Yeah.
benefits of that immoral action? I mean, obviously the answer is yes. Yeah.
Or why shouldn't I do it? Yeah, because there's if you really look into like psychology and stuff like that, you can determine a lot of ways to manipulate people or like more effective ways. And is that manipulation like more? You're basically improving the way you communicate.
Yeah, but it's in a deceiving manner, right? Deceptive.
Yes,
I think that's a word.
but is that wrong? That's what I'm kind of like
Well, it's
from a
wrong.
personal.
It's almost for sure wrong from a moral sense. You're leaving people worse off than you found. That you're treating people as a means to an end.
Not necessarily. You don't necessarily have to make them worse off. It's just you're imposing your will on the world.
Yeah, but generally,
Well-
if it's something they probably wouldn't it's deceitful or deceptive. If they wouldn't have done it anyways, then chances are what you're talking about is something that's probably going to leave them worse off. That's probably Otherwise, it would probably be something they would just agree to go along with. You wouldn't need to deceive them, right?
Sure, but there's just a lot of like problems with like language and stuff. Like, if you become more effective at communicating, and therefore you get more people to do what you want, are you now more manipulative?
I mean, yeah.
Or is that like
you'd be more manipulative, right?
So if I basically, because I just took like a psychology course, and there's like a bunch of shit in there, and it's like, if I really ingest that shit and just apply it to my life, I could get away with more shit, right?
Probably, yeah.
So like, what's stopping me? That's from my personal perspective. There seems
you
like
need some sort of like moral or ethical foundation that would prevent you from doing so. But I mean, I guess if you're like an amoral sociopath, then I mean, nothing is technically stopping it. You can just be as evil as you want to be, right? I mean,
I don't think you have to be a sociopath, but
well, to some extent, yeah. To go from person to person, manipulate them in a way that is just benefiting you potentially to their detriment. I mean, that's relatively sociopathic.
It's selfish, but not. I think everyone's selfish, so.
I mean, you're doing a careless disregard for other people at your own benefit with little to no remorse is like about as close as you're going to get to like a sociopath, right? I think as humans also, we're generally pretty good at like sniffing out these types of behaviors too. So I think you'd have a really difficult time keeping it a secret. But I mean,
not really. I think people, even if you know about the manipulation trick or something, people still fall for it.
Yeah, they could, but I mean, only a couple times, and then nobody's going to want to talk to you, be friends with you anymore, I think.
You just can't overdo it, I guess. Last time I talked to you, you did not have a response to one question. I forgot what it was. It was, how do men and women meet? Because I see you talking about a lot of like red pill issues and stuff like that, and you like to give these takes that are a little triggering when it comes to red pill issues. But how do you think men and women meet in 2023? Because I brought up like situationships and shit like that, and you kind of.
I think right now, isn't it generally on like dating apps and shit? Isn't that the most common?
I think so. It's going up like a lot.
Yeah,
but
so
something that you used to say was that women don't fuck who they. I was about to go to the gym, so my head is like scattered right now.
Yeah.
Women don't fuck the dude that they date or something like that. You used to say something like that often every time you would talk to a red pill dude.
That women don't fuck the dudes that they date?
Oh, it's something like they're on two different buckets or two different ladders or something.
Oh, I would say that like generally, this is a very generalized statement, but I feel like women's standards for who they're willing to date and who they're willing to fuck are a lot closer than men's standards for who they're willing to date and who they're willing to fuck.
Okay, I would probably agree with that, so I don't think that was it. My fucking brain is scattered. Okay. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
Also, fuck your chat. Stupid ass DDG chat, bro. Shout out to the YouTube chat. People are based over there, man.
All right, well, hey, be careful, buddy. Stay safe.
Also, if you want to, a lot of your like people afterwards will hit me up. Y'all can hit me up on. Y'all can find me by my name on fucking YouTube, Sikan, NSIKAN. Add me on Discord, and then we can fucking fight in Discord. Y'all have any problems with what I say?
All right.
Appreciate you.
Have fun. Be careful, dude.
Go to the gym.
Okay, bye. Jesus.